So this will be for people who like watching art become itself. People who like the process. Let's keep it simple. I totally ripped this idea, by the way. Mickey Galvin, thank you for making the stylistic choices that you did. I liked it so much, I decided to copy you, and so I'm giving you all the credit for that. I am a thief. My little mood board that you're seeing, which is just my Tumblr page for this era of my life. It's cute, right? I know. This is the vibe of everything that I'm working on. Oh, look! There she is. Paracosm. This thing has been coming to life for a while, and it's still coming to life. I'm starting to see a little more, I guess. Yeah, I'm always seeing more, but I think that actually I am starting to want to share more. I think I like to share while it's happening. I have no one to talk about this stuff with, and in the age of the internet, I'm just like, maybe I should talk to y'all. And I really like streaming because it's an open space, but sometimes you just want to like post a video. Sometimes you don't feel like streaming. It's just like the liveness. Like I really do like being alone, and what I find with streaming is sometimes you have to talk to people. You don't have to, but if there's another person there, I want to. And I'm learning to I don't know, I'm just like maybe doing a vlog here or there. Vlog. Silliness. Maybe I don't need to obscure my myself too much, even though I'm like really self-conscious. It's just like, I don't know, this is what I look like. This is what you would see if we were talking in person. So, hey, where should I begin? Hayley Williams just dropped music, and she said something about, first, for context, Hayley Williams, Beyonce, and Bob Dylan / Timothy Chalamet, let's call that Tim and Bob, changed my life. Really and truly. Really and truly. 3 years, 3 artists, and now me stumbling forward, you know? Wet-winged and all. It's foreshadowing. I hope I have enough space on my computer to save this entire video, because I realize that I'm going to be talking for a very long time. Just because I'm slow right now, but I just feel like I need to get a lot of this out. Petals for armor, flowers for vases. That was I wanted to call it a mountain peak, but actually it was somewhere underground. It shook my foundation so much that my walls crumbled, and I was left with myself. I learned how to feel that night. I had been listening to Petals for Armor for 3 months, like straight, really. I tried Flowers for Vases, but that wasn't where I was at. I was with Petals for Armor. Mind you, this is 2023. This is 3 years after their release, 3 and 2 years respectively. I kind of listened to them, but it just wasn't giving me. I was stuck on After Laughter. Something about the chronology of these projects spoke to the chronology in me, and sometime in June of 2023, I finally felt Flowers for Vases. I listened to Petals for Armor again. Assistily started playing, and I was like, you know what, I think I need to listen to this. That night I felt like it was like calling me. This it's like you say things like this, and it's like I know what it sounds like. She was talking to me. First it was Keep You Right Here, and I was building a table in my living room, and I just had to stop and listen to it. Mind you, for context, I was high on 10 milligrams of weed. So that was probably, it was a combination of being in a heightened space and then someone pouring their heart out to you. And I was just like, I just need to listen to this. And she has this line where it's like, I'll keep you right here on my finger. And I started, it's like the crevice of my finger. That was where I was focusing my energy, and I really felt that. And then I went about my business, building my table, building my shelf that's holding my records now, and the album started playing again from the top, I think for the third time. And I sat on the couch and sobbed. It was a collection of lyrics in particular that shook me, that shook my very foundation, the very ground I built myself upon. Trigger. All I've ever had to say about love is a sad song. I get off on telling everybody what went wrong. It makes me feel like the pain had a purpose, keeps me believing that maybe it's worth it. Then, in Over Those Hills, one line, but the hurt is half the fun. And I was like, yes, yes. And then, if you've listened to this album as much as I have, you know what's coming. The next song, I'm sitting there in that, right? Over Those Hills has like a nostalgic feel to it. I'm like, yeah, exactly. The hurt is half the fun. I kind of like that it hurts. And then the next song begins. There's no such thing as good grief. And when I tell you, I broke down, like all the way down. Like I'm remembering it right now and feeling it, and like it was a lot. The whole time I was having to remind myself not to think too much and to just experience the music. Tears began at Trigger, and the walls came down at Good Grief. Like in a massive, massive way. Yeah. What a night. I just remembered imagining how I feel as smoky tendrils, traveling through every crevice of my body, sourcing out the problem, the thing that hurts, trying to find it, and excavating that thing and bringing it to the surface and saying, look at you. It's okay. So anyways, Hayley Williams dropped new music. Obviously, I heard it this weekend. It, again, like, she's just, I feel like I learned how to write lyrics from her because she sort of writes the way that Ernest Hemingway, there's a quote that he said or wrote somewhere that stuck with me. I think that I saw it on Pinterest, but he said, write hard and clear about what hurts. And that really stuck with me. And I feel like Hayley Williams really does that. She goes right to the source using language. And as a writer, that really speaks to me. What I have recently found is that words are not the only thing that speak to me, because the past week I've written like 4 or 5 songs and I have not said any words, and for some of them there are no words, or there's just a few words. And maybe that's okay, because the sound is doing the work, and when I have something to say I can say it. But that's been a sort of difficult thing to reconcile, because words are everything to me. That's what I built my life on, is words. But music has changed a lot. Music has changed more than, books opened me up, but music has changed me. I don't know. Have I ever felt changed by a book? I've felt changed by writing them. I felt love for them. But have I ever felt different for reading a book? I don't think so, but I have felt that way listening to music. Have I felt that way watching films? Those films changed me? Yes, but probably just because there were cute boys in them. Yes. Today I started writing a short story. Oh, the reason I brought up Hayley Williams, that was a huge tangent, but I just needed to put this out there for a long time. I've written about it and I've talked about it on stream, and I just wanted to live in a place where, like, I feel like I have said it I feel like I'm going to say it a bajillion more times, hopefully one day when people are asking me questions about my work and I don't have to create the forum to talk about it myself. I feel like it's fine to do that, but I guess maybe I want the validation of knowing that people actually want to hear what I have to say. People asking me to say what I have to say instead of me saying, will you listen to what I have to say? But I suppose you have to ask first. And then maybe people will ask back. We spitting today, aren't we? So, yes, she reposted a tarot reading. And so I grew up religious. I'm still a person of faith. That's actually another, there with Hayley Williams, like when I was listening to that album, I felt like she was talking to me, not all of the things, but a lot of the things. I think that we have a handful of circumstances in common, words, I guess music, although that's sort of a new space for me. Female, small, religious, I say religious, but I mean it is religious, but like particularly growing up in the Christian church. Okay, yeah, definitely music, because even though the way that I've embraced music is new to me, it's not new to my life. I grew up in music. Like, my mom told this story about how my dad would play the drums when I was a baby, just on a semi-regular basis. So I would know how to sleep, because he was like, I'm not going to stop drumming because you sleep. And so that being, and I'm sure he was playing when I was in the womb, and just like that being the environment that I was raised in. And then internalized misogyny. That's a big one. It's a real big one. I think actually that's the one. The effects of the patriarchy. It does it does its thing. And the way that thing affected Hayley is the way that thing affected me. Obviously not exactly. We're individual people, but the way that she talks about it in her music really, really speaks to the way that I experienced it, and still experience it, even now at 28. And probably always will. Which sucks really bad. But anyways, the tarot reading spoke to a lot of things that have been coming up for me lately. At first I was like, this is not really hidden. And then I was like, well, because they're so spiritual and they're so open-ended that you can apply it to anything in your life. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that we think because the answers aren't exacting or concrete that it's not valid. And I don't think that's true. I think that the interpretive nature of many things is what's important about it, because then you can take that thing and you can say, you can see you in it. If things are too specific, maybe you lose the you, and then it's something else, which is also worthwhile. But I like to see myself in things. I think that I very often see myself in everything, or almost everything. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even want to get into that today. I just don't feel like thinking about it. So the tarot reading, I don't think that I want to relay the tarot reading. I think because it was a lot. I don't remember all of it, but I do remember the things that stuck out to me about where I'm at in my life, that feel true. I've always wanted to write books and make films. I decided I wanted to write books when I was 12. Well, no, I decided I wanted to write books when I was 8. Probably before that. I loved books before anything else. Patti Smith said a similar thing in Just Kids, and she's the other one. It's not her music that speaks to me on a very, very personal level, but her writing. Just Kids. I started reading that the week I discovered Bob Dylan. Obviously, you know the name, but I really had no idea about him. It was the same weekend, and that was like Friday, and then Sunday I decided I want to move to New York, and that's what I'm working towards right now. I don't know when I'm going to get there. I don't know what I'm going to be doing when I get there, but I do know that I'm going to get there. This is where I'm at. I forgot my cat's behind me. There he is. Zuko. Hey. Say hi. Okay, today is Friday, August 1st, 2025. It is currently 3:48 p.m. I am 28 years old, and I quit my job 1 week ago. Well, my last day was a week ago. It is a job that changed my life. I don't know how much I'm going to talk about it, but you will hear about how it affected me until I feel like I can actually talk about it, which could be never. Today I will say I felt seen, and I felt like I was seeing. And just those two things urged me here. That's all I'm going to say on that. I was a writer first. And then shortly after that, I decided I wanted to make films. The two things happened simultaneously. I was like, I read Maximum Ride. I read The Outsiders. I saw Minority Report. I watched The Last Airbender. And I woke up. The only other time I remember really feeling like that was like watching High School Musical when I was 8, when I fell in love for the first time. And the second time I fell in love was Maximum Ride. And those two things have a thing in common, and it is a fictional boy. We don't have to get into that right now, but I will name some names. Troy Bolton, Warren Peace, Fang, Zuko, who I literally named my cat after. You will live forever in my heart, and I will spend the rest of my life looking for you. Insane. Okay, so yeah, that was that. That happened. That's life. That's me. That's cool. The tarot reading was saying that it's like you're putting something back in the deck, like you're giving up something. That felt like kind of an extreme. I don't give up. And so I didn't like using those words, or I'm like, well, I don't quit. I'm not a quitter. That's not how I was raised. It's not within me to quit. But sometimes you need to quit. I have been saying for a few days, really this week, because it's sort of been actualizing. I am writing stories and songs and stories that accompany the songs, and vice versa, and all that, until I can make a film. Because films cost money, and I don't want to do it for cheap. I know it's not the most important thing about it, but having this great grand idea in your head and being so far away from the thing in your head, it's like the thing in your head will never become, but it can at least look good, and there are lots of different ways for things to look good, and I intend to figure it out, but that's going to take some time. So until then, I'm going to write music, and I'm going to write stories. I'm going to publish books, and I'm going to release albums, and they're generally going to go together, and they will be the springboard upon which I am able to make my films one day. That's where I'm at. And that sort of requires me to think less about the film project, which I feel like is sort of where I begin, because I just sort of see vibes. We got my mood board. Oh, you still can't see it. Did it make a difference? This is Paracosm right now. This is the songs. Woo, yeah. Songs, images. This is just like me seeing the thing. That's cool. We like that. I'm having to let go a little, or just release. It's not gone, but I don't think that I need to be thinking about it so much. I think that I'm always worried about, well, how am I going to make this? Well, how am I going to make this? I don't have any money. And I think that and that was one of the things that, the journey has been much longer than just Beyonce, Hayley Williams, and Bob Dylan. It's been, being a nanny for people that work in the industry and receiving advice and feedback, and discovering myself through a new medium. Like I started writing novels, got into film really right away, and then because you have no money, you start if you're me and you're a practical person, you're like, well, if I want to make films, I have to figure out how to make films I can make, which means limiting my imagination, where I want to use, and not just now I feel like I have ideas about how to merge the two things, but like, you're a sci-fi fantasy writer, that's not an easy thing to do on a kid's budget, or on a young adult's budget, or on a not studio budget, if you want it to look like the thing in your head. But animation, learning how to write for animation, which was something that I had the opportunity to do by chance and by the grace of God, because I nannied for a family who's the dad, he writes for animation, and he was like mentoring me, and I was like, the story is writing itself. This is why I don't believe in coincidence. But what I got from that is, don't limit your ideas based on what's possible, because you can do anything in animation. And that would quickly turn into, well, you can do anything in a novel as well. And so this journey began then as well, where I was like, I just feel like I need to be writing and not trying to make anything. But then it's like, how will I ever get the chance to make something, to make a film, if I'm not making films? Because there's so much I haven't been able to put into practice. It's just the way that you practice an instrument, or you write consistently to get better at writing. Like, you have to be exercising that skill set, especially in terms of like working with actors, working with other people, like communicating to your production designer, like that. That's stuff that you have to be doing in order to get good at it. And so I worry about that. I'm like, I need to be practicing. I need to be putting in the work. I'm not putting in the work. But this week, I've really I've come to a place where I'm like, that is just not what I need to be doing right now. And I have to keep reminding myself of the right now thing, which is why when she said give up, I was like, that feels extreme. But there is some validity to what she was saying. I am letting go of an image in favor of a new one, trying something else, because ultimately, I don't know, I feel like it's easier to exercise my creativity in music and in writing than in film, because of the limitations of film at my level. And if I want people to see what I can do, the writing, how it sounds, and what you see, how I paint the picture for you using these two mediums, will be the avenue to adapting that into the film I'm dreaming of in order to do this. And I'm just like, well, maybe this is just how I make films. And maybe the opportunity to do it the way I want to will come. Maybe it's around the corner, but I have to have I gotta have it. I gotta have the music written, and that means I gotta share the music, and I've gotta have the novel, the stories, the chapters, the series written in order for people to see it. And that means that I have to share my work. I love to share. I just have gotten comfortable sharing with myself, because I do be talking to myself. Like, I do. If you see me in public and you see me nodding and moving my mouth, it's because I'm talking to myself. That's it. No shame. I do be talking to myself. I am my favorite person. I can't even apologize for it. So I do need to channel some of that energy into sharing with actual people. And because I have anxiety, and I have a tendency to absorb others against my will, which is something I'm working on, recognizing what belongs to me and what doesn't, receiving what belongs to me and releasing what doesn't. I am more comfortable sharing in a forum where I'm looking at myself and my little mood board. Let's see what else we got. This goes pretty far back. I've been reblogging here for a while. See, we've got some mermaid stuff, Oh, we have my video that I made for... Oh, see, I've done this already. The only thing that's different is I'm using screen recordings, because what was her name again? I'm so sorry. Dang, I closed it. I'll insert it here when I edit. Thank you, Mickey Galvin. She I was like, because I keep, you know what it is? I've been looking for a simplified way of doing this stuff with the, hard drives and all of that jazz. I have been in search of an easy way to do this. I don't, I've used to have my camera did die, but like the SD card transfer organization, all that stuff, like I was fucking screen recording, edit it down, post it, and archive it. That's it. Easy peasy. Take half a day. I mean, now I'm a talker, so it's still gonna be some work, but I have been trying to make it as easy on myself as possible to create, because social media is a form of creation itself, and I'm an artist, and I want to use it because it is the easiest way to reach people. Like I want to use what's at my disposal in order to do this, but if you want it to be good, you really have to put some time into it, and I've been trying to find a way to put me in it, to put some time into it, for it to feel like a work of art without it having to be like no whole lot of work, because I ain't gonna lie to you, your girl is lazy. And also I just really like working on the stuff that I'm working on. Like I want to write and I want to make music. I don't want to edit YouTube videos, because this is not a film to me. This is a YouTube video, and the time it would take to make a film doing all of this just so that I'm putting my best foot forward on social media is the time that I need in order to make a song or write a story. And I will be honest, this is still taking time away from me doing that, but I have a week to work on it, and I realized the song was already written. And I say all that to say, at some point soon, I'm going to put my music on Spotify. I am right now at war with myself over whether or not to fix the flaws, because I hear the flaws, but I feel like when you've listened to it enough, it is embedded into the thing. And I think right now I'm at a place where I'm like, I feel like this is enough for where I'm at. This is where I'm at. This is what it sounds like, and it's still good, and I'm only going to go up from here. But it is flawed. I feel like I am at a place where I'm okay with flaws. Now I need to figure out how to be okay with the fact that some people aren't, and still be willing to stand on the fact that I'm okay with flaws. I'm not chasing perfection. There is none anyway. Easier said than done, but that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to keep learning, and I'm going to keep writing, and I feel like I want to be able to like put my song on a reel on Instagram. And if I want to do that, I got to get it on Spotify. And if I get it on Spotify, I have to be okay with the version that goes up there. This is how I've always been. It took so much for me to rewrite The Girl Next Door, which will hopefully be out it will be out at Christmas if I get my shit together. That's a sign, Shelby, get your shit together. Rewriting that felt like rewriting myself, which is what you're supposed to do, but it felt like I felt like I was overwriting myself, like I was erasing 17-year-old me. And it took a lot for me to get over that. It takes a lot for me to change my mind. I think I hold on to a lot. I've changed a lot, but I still remember the old way. I have this post-it note up there that says "Shed the Old Way." I'm still working on that. I'm still working on it. But this is where I'm at right now. This is where I'm at today. I haven't posted a blog on if you see it here, let's see if I can find one here. I was doing one every week, and then I went out of town and I sort of fell off. But I'm going to start trying to bring it back. Just a little bit of a weekend check-in on my blog. This is the blog that's particular to like where I'm at right now and what I'm trying to do. We also have viashelby.com, which is my main blog. I just sort of put everything there. I hate that these are not the same color. Whoops. Anyways, yes, as you can see, I put everything here. Like, I never stopped using Tumblr. So yes, you will be able to see who I'm like low-key crushing on. You can come here to watch my streams when I do it. My streamer tag is my gamer tag, which is not my like the Via Shelby branded tag. What do you call it? Saying it's branded sounds so bad, but that's what it is. Via Shelby, that's me. You can navigate through here. Here's my about page. This is where you can find my books. I don't really like this one a whole lot. It's just like kind of, this was when I was trying to make it like feel like a website, and I wanted everything to sort of match. I don't want it to match anymore. But yeah, it's got links to, the pictures are fucked up, but my books up to this point, The Girl Next Door will be around soon. My journal, which should be girl, yeah, that's Sunrose / Lover Girl. The reason I got back into Tumblring like this in the first place was because I was trying to build my website, and it was harder than I remembered. If you don't know, now you know. Bandit Apparel, that's also me. I'm going to be revamping this soon, and I'm just going to start. I just want to, like, there's stuff that I want on shirts, and I'm just going to do it. Arts and Skate, I'm going to rebrand it to just shit I like. This stuff will stay there. Like, these will stay the little logo pieces. It still has the same purpose. Like, we are alive, we are whole, and we have burned under the gaze of a watchful, resentful eye and risen from the ashes. There is strength in our sensitivity, our honesty, and our nobility, because we are joyful and above all else free from any and all everyone has told us about us, as if we do not know who we are, because we do know who we are. We are color and light, we are promise and hope, we are forgiveness, we are open hearts, we are bandit, and we exist. That is still 100% true. So anyways, I'm just going to be throwing up new designs here. Brought back Sunrose, top of 2024, around the time I was reading The Bell Jar. I'll never read that book again. And I just started, like, if you go far enough down on both viashelby.com, which is Manic Machinations, but it's alphanumeric, don't worry about it, just go to viashelby.com. I never stopped using Tumblr. I didn't like start using it again. I've always checked it. I just started like posting again. But I used it all through college, and I started this one around my senior year of high school. So if you go far enough down, there are pictures of me. Like, this is college when my hair was growing out. I think it was a year after college. I was like really depressed in college and coping. Like, this some old self-portraits. Like, you really can. I have like fully documented journey. Self-documentation, November 2015. Like, I have always sort of been obsessed with myself. I think because I have such a hard time seeing myself unless I take photos, draw pictures, write stories, make music. Like, I literally don't know me until I do that, because I have externalized living, so other people are more real to me than I am. I don't know, does anybody else feel like that? Just like this sort of like displacement. High school theater, like, this was when I first got my camera. This is my family. My mom is black. Don't question it. It was my writing page. What used to be Stories by Shelby. And then in college, I was like, that's lame. So I decided to use Sunrose. I always have some sort of alias, like Stargirl changing her name. I'm pretty sure I put that on here. There, it's right here. Stargirl changing her name every few months. She's so me. I've always had, as a kid, I used to change my name like to straight up other names, Sage and Leah Mariah. I was Leah Mariah for a really long time. I used to pretend that I was older. I've like never been myself, you know. It wasn't until as I got older I was like, okay, maybe I should stop pretending I'm not me. But I've still always sort of been pretending I was a different me than the me that I am. The Art Bandit was my alias in college. My Tumblr page was Sunrose, which was like sort of in this weird period when I was like really into cigarettes and sadness. Oh look, there's Hayley. Got super distracted there for a second, but yeah, I did want to show you guys my other blogs. So yeah, this one and Via Shelby they literally go way back. Paracosm doesn't have anything on it yet. The point is for me to reblog. Oh, it has stuff that from like, this was like one of my burner pages for a while. Now it's Paracosm. I should probably delete those posts. I don't think that this belongs. But basically anything that is Paracosm related, that is this, which does look a lot like Baby Butterfly, but Little Moth slash Baby Butterfly is one thing. Baby Butterfly is the song, and Paracosm is another thing, and they are interlaced. The Girl Next Door is also like woven into them, but it's sort of like the Girl Next Door into Paracosm into Baby Butterfly. There's some overlap. There's sort of like alternate timelines, but they're also like one timeline. It's kind of just like a dozen ways to tell the same story. And they all have songs. And yeah, it's just my world. Like the whole thing is the Paracosm. The Paracosm project is one thing. The Baby Butterfly project is another thing. The Girl Next Door is yet another thing. I also have Scarlet and the Self-Titled War. But like when it comes down to it, like I'm using the same songs, the same lyrics, the same melodies, the same names, and they'll all come out at different times, but once you've consumed it all, you'll be able to see the places where the stories intersect in the world wide web of me. And yes, there's also Somewhere Too, which is something that I hope maybe when I get to New York can become an in-person thing. I want to create a place where you have somewhere to. So right now, I intend to do that on Twitch, where I just like hop on and I do shit. I might be singing. I do that. I haven't streamed in a while, but hop on, plug in the mic, play some songs, or I might be painting and you might not be hearing anything. I think now I could just play my own music in the background, although I'm pretty sure that would get exhausting. Although I do really like listening to them on repeat, but maybe that's just because I'm self-absorbed. Set up the camera and just like vibe. And you can use it at the time to like do what you need to do. You just need somewhere to go where you can do XYZ. I'll have like a manifesto for that typed up at some point. It's in my journal somewhere. When I was coming up with the idea, I wanted to think of myself sort of as a lighthouse. I think when I think about myself as an anxious person going and trying to penetrate other people's worlds really stresses me out because I don't know what to expect, but I feel like there is a lot of safety in inviting people into my world, and that's what I want to do. Somewhere to Pretend is the Tumblr page, and yeah, that's all of them for now, but there will be more. There's always more. When I feel different, I need to create a new space so that I can just see. It's sort of like a digital vision board, a place where I can see where I'm at, and now I'm sharing that with you. I'll be back hopefully soon. Like, I kind of just want to do this when I feel it. I know that algorithmically it's better to be consistent, but that's not me. You'll see me when you see me. My hope is that it's more often than not. Feel free to go to my SoundCloud. I have the songs that I've been writing for Baby Butterfly up there. I will make the playlist public so you guys can hear it. The order is probably going to change a lot. The tracks will change, and then eventually I am going to put it on Spotify, which is super exciting. I really want to do that this year. I also want to try to get a song from Paracosm out called Dada, which is sort of like I don't know, it just feels like a good one to start with. Yeah, if you watched this, I love you. Whenever you watch this, I love you. I'm glad you're here, and I'm really excited to share. I love this. I love what it's becoming. I am trusting the process, and I'm taking you with me. I have a few more things I'd like to say. Okay, I'm sorry. I got a little more high, and I've been thinking about ego death a lot because everybody keeps writing about it, and you know, it's showing up in songs and stuff, and there's something about it that has been bothering me. So I'm gonna read what I wrote, and I'll also read what I read. The sources aren't great, Okay, but I just needed a little bit of a sprinkle, and it gave me thoughts. This is what I read in the order that I read it. AI overview. Ego death refers to complete or near complete loss of subjective self-identity. It's a concept used in various fields, including psychology, philosophy, and mythology, often describing a profound transformation of the psyche. In death and rebirth mythology, ego death signifies a phase of self-surrender and transition. It's also the title of an album and a handful of songs. This is from Wikipedia. Like I said, not trusted sources, but I got what I came for. Ego death and the related term ego loss have been defined in the context of mysticism by the religious studies scholar Daniel Merker as an imageless experience in which there is no sense of personal identity. It is the experience that remains possible in a state of extremely deep trance when the ego functions of reality testing, sense perception, memory, reason, fantasy, and self-representation are repressed. Muslim Sufis call it fana annihilation. Jesus. And medieval Jewish Kabbalists termed it the kiss of death. That doesn't sound fun to me. It sounds like something that doesn't actually truly happen until you die for real. Obviously, we use it very metaphorically. But this is what I wrote because I just been thinking about it a lot. Like it's in that Hayley Williams song, Ego Death at a bachelorette party. And Halsey has that song. I think that I might have to kill my ego because if I don't, my ego might kill me. And I've been thinking about it because I have quite the ego. And I'm at war with it for sure. And so I was wondering, and this is what I wrote down. What if you don't need to kill your ego? What if your ego doesn't need to die? What if she can have space without control? None of this is mine to begin with. And all I have to offer it is my own specificity. What does the air feel like to this hair follicle? I do not know, but I know it does, and so I do. I don't want to become less specific. Not yet. I've been there, and it's big and scary. It consumes. For now, I want to show you my me and hope you see your you within it. I guess we can call that an artist statement. That's it. Bye, nerds.